Well, welcome back to the Motorsport Manager series with Enigma Racing. We're going to go into our first race straight away. We are at Beijing, and we're in a bit of a shit state. We don't have decent drivers, don't have a decent car. We're expecting to finish last. A little bit obvious, really, because everything we've got is shit. But the knowledge. We're going to try and go for clever pits. Try and go for clever pits. Don't know how well we'll do at that, but we'll see. I mean, this particular race is going to be a bit of a sort of throwaway race. We're expected to finish last this season. I'm expecting we're going to finish last this season. Hopefully we'll finish 9th, but I'm expecting us to finish last this season. And who knows? We could surprise everyone. We could surprise myself. Hopefully, basically what I did with Motorsport Manager previously in the previous series, we would do the race and then we'd do everything. Do it that way. We would do the race and then we would build up to the next race and do things in between. And it's raining. Now, if you watched the previous Motorsport Manager series, you know I like driving in the rain. It's extremely beneficial for me. So, Andre Gomez and Faith Anthony are our main drivers, but we're going to use Ferreira instead of Gomez for the practice. His feedback assessed that a little bit better. And I don't know if you remember what I was saying about feedback. Feedback is basically going to help us with how this car looks and works. We're going to go with wets. I'm hoping that's going to dip off at some point. So no, I'm going to change. I'm going to stick with intermediates. Plus, I don't really want to get knowledge on intermediates on wets when we can have knowledge on intermediates. So let's have a look here. So as you can see, I'm gonna do a little bit of a tutorial before, like, going through this as we go on for the new guys. Obviously, people who've played this before will know what you're doing. So you can see we can fuck around on the car setup here. So we've got the front wing, we've got the rear wing, we've got the tyre pressure, tyre camber, gear ratio, suspension stiffness. We've then got the car balance. Now, the green bar is kind of where we want to sit it. We want to try and aim for the middle if we can. So we've got downforce, handling, speed balance, and then on the right hand side you can see how long the session is, which is 15 minutes, and you can see a mini map of the layout of this particular track. Now each track has multiple layouts possible, and we're using this one here. So speed balance is about right, I would say, for this race. You'd want to be in the middle. There's a little bit of long sections, a few short corners where you want a bit of acceleration to go through. And that is a freight train, by the way. If you can hear that, that is a freight train going past my house. Windows are open because it's fucking mega hot. But that is a freight train going past my house, and it sounds like a fucking engine on an airplane. I need to move house. Right, so I'm going to aim for the middle with the handling. As I was saying, you've got a mixture of sort of straights, so you need a bit of top speed, and you've got a bit of a mixture of sort of short bits where you want a bit of acceleration. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to aim for the middle there. With the downforce, we're going to try and aim for a little bit lower, around about there, which means we need to fuck around with the handling and speed balance. As you can see, every time you adjust one thing, everything else adjusts, so it's a little bit of a balancing act. So we want to try and bring that to there, and probably take that down to... no, we want to bring that to there. So the next thing is the tyre choices. Now, the tyre choice can change depending on where you're racing. So with this race, obviously, we've got available to us the wets, the intermediates, and then there's slicks. Now, we've got 2 types of slicks available to us. I think there's only ever 2 types of slicks available at any race, no matter what you're doing. So we've got the softs, hence the S, and we've got the mediums, hence the M's. We're going to go with inters because it is raining. Now, technically, we should be using wet. As you can see, it sort of tells you here the speed and durability of those. On this one, it's optimal scenario, water on a track. And as you can see, intermediates, a little bit of water, sort of mid-range. Wet, anything, sort of like soaking. If we look at that, it looks like it's going to get soaking, but I don't need to learn knowledge on the wets. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with regards to knowledge, if you look at the active knowledge up here, so you've got levels of knowledge. So you've got one for soft tyres, medium tyres, inters, wets, one for each of the tyres, and then there's a qualifying trim and a race trim. Now, ideally, you get race trim up to level 3, which is the maximum level, rate the trim basically, maximum level 3 on each thing. And they will give you performances, so it'll be like a 15% performance increase. So, obviously for the race trim, you get 15% bonus when you're racing. Qualifying trim, 15% bonus when you're qualifying. And then so on and so forth. We're going to go with inters, because there is a good chance it will rain later in. So we've now got to do the second car, by the way. I'm dragging this out massively. Aim for the middle. Push you that way a little bit. Push you that way a little bit. Yeah, and you go Vinters as well. So we're going to be basically struggling a little bit because of the Inters. Not going to learn as much, but hopefully the rain will subside after its real big downpour, and things will go reasonably well. So we're going to take the practice though. You can simulate the practice, simulate the session, but I like to take it because I can then choose exactly what we're getting knowledge on, and I want race trim. And you've got different strategies here, so let's pause this real quick. So as you can see, we've got different engine modes and different driving styles. Now, I drive quite fast in real life as well as in this. So what I like to do is get them on tack and overtake, especially in practice, even when it's wet, because it means I get around the track as quickly as possible, and I'm pretty sure that's how the knowledge goes up faster. I'm reasonably sure. And then when you look at this as well, you've got, let's get rid of that. It shows you like fastest times around you, and it says previous stint feedback. When they come back in, it will show you how happy they were with each bit. Down here you've got the tyres. It'll show you what the wear is like, and then you've got the fuel as well. It'll tell you which practice session are, how long's left to practice, and then it'll give you a list of all the drivers up there. Above the driver says current standings. Now you highlight that and it will tell you different things. So it'll give you the gap between, obviously it'll give you the gap between you and that driver and you, and so on and so forth for every single one. It will show you the gap from first place down. It'll also show you the sectors, by the way. If it's a purple, you'd hit the fastest sector. You know, if it's green, it's a good sector, it's an improvement. White is just meh. And you got your last lap and your fastest lap. Now that changes in the race, and it shows you exactly what, you know, where we've just seen the strategies. That will change based on the strategies. You know, obviously active knowledge and so on and so forth. Track grip, there's not going to be any. That'll improve when it's a bit drier. So he's off out. Now we could run qualifying trim and race trim at the same time and get a bit of knowledge. I prefer to do them both on one, and then once that's hit 100%, I then go for the qualifying. That's just how I prefer to play it. I much prefer having the bonuses in race as opposed to qualifying. I tend to lose position straight away on a race. We do have a speed stat down here. Obviously, F speeds it up, and we are going to speed it up. We're going to do practice and qualifying on max speed. The reason being, 15 minutes is a long time to sit and do this. It just means the episode will be on for so long. I mean, we're nearly 8 minutes in, and yeah. Now, I know some guys are probably sitting there saying, well, you can cut. Surely, you can do cuts. I could. But one, I'm too lazy to cut. And two, I feel like this is more of an organic process. Plus, I think if you're watching Motorsport Manager videos, you want to see how the practice goes, you want to see how the qualifying goes, and then you want to see the race and all the stuff in between. So, as you can see, he's saying, he's now just come back. I've got a radio message here. There was one for Ferreira a minute ago. Gomez is saying that the aero setup feels wrong. So that's what I mean by feedback. And as you can see, you've got the setup knowledge along the bottom. And that's fine. We'll let him do a flying lap. We'll let them both do a flying lap. And then we'll bring them both in. We'll work around with their settings and have a look, see what we can change and improve it. And as you can see, we've unlocked knowledge for race trim level 1. Gutierrez has got the fastest lap. Not surprising. Your aero setup is wrong as well. And we also hit level 1 for intermediates. So if we look here, as you can see, the rain is now going to dip back down to an intermediate level. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this guy in. I'm going to do them one at a time, not going to do them at the same time. So he's happy with his seat now. Right. This is what we need to explain. So I'm going to go back to stints. We're going to get him back on a race trim for 12 laps. I'm going to put him on mediums. Now, you might think that's odd, but I'd rather have mediums than anything else, especially for the race, because it might not necessarily rain. So if we look at the car setup here, so it tells you here how fast the lap was, how your balance was, and then obviously you can click on use setup. So I've done balance here of 73%. Now speed balance, excellent. It's bang on. It's exactly where it needs to be. Handling, not so much, and the downforce, definitely not. So we're going to go quite extreme with the downforce. We're going to do that. We're going to take it, because it was very poor, I want to pull it away as far as I can. We're going to try our best to keep that exactly where it is. Now, because the handling was good, I want to go a little bit one way and then a little bit another and see how that works out. Because chances are, that's all it needs, just that little bit of a, push, and that'll be fine. Let's get those guys carrying on. So, as you can see, number 19's our driver here. He has come round So we're going to get him to come in now. So Gomez is now out. We're going to get Gomez back onto this overtake and take mode and bring Ferreira in. Now, Ferreira's happy with his gear ratios. That's what he's telling us, and that's fine. It's just a case of making sure he stays happy with everything else. So he doesn't like his aero. We know that. So that's going to be the first thing we look at. So let's send you out. He doesn't like... It's not a very good setup at all, actually. He's poor, and good. Now, good sounds good, but it's not. So, I feel like we need to maybe push that way. Bring the handling to there. Let's go like that. Downforce, again, I feel like maybe we need to switch it completely the other way. Let's get this to that, and you there. We're going to go with that. We're going to see how that looks and pans out. And Mitch Evans setting fastest sectors. We're on the wrong tyres. That's one of the reasons why. But it is qualifying. We do have the worst qualifying. It's practice. We do have the worst car. So I'm not surprised we're not doing particularly well. You know, this is going to be a long haul this particular season. Basically, this season is going to be a building season, and then next year it's going to be like aiming for mid-table. Maria Lopez with fastest sectors across the board, fastest lap. Now, pardon me, Gomez is happy with his handling this time around, but we're going to bring him in. Ferreira's much happier with his aero setup as well. So Gomez has got 11th fastest lap, so he's got a decent lap. We know that much. This race trim's nearly done, so we're going to get him on a qualifying. So we've got a great, good, excellent. That's fine. So let's get you on qualifying trim onto 3 laps. That's the only thing, for some reason, that just like cuts your laps out altogether. So we went that way with the handling. That's fine. Now, great. I'm happy with great. I'm very happy with great, actually. I just want to get this handling up to excellent. So I want to push that way a little bit more. I think everything else can stay the same. We'll see how that pans out. So, as you can see, race trim is nearly at level 3. There's still got 5 minutes left of the race, or the qualify. I keep getting it wrong. Of the practice. So that should hit level 3. So which is why I've started working on the qualifying now. Once Ferreira, who's got the 3rd fastest lap in this, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, does get to level 3, get us to level 3 on a race trim, we'll bring him in, we'll look at his setup, and then we'll send him back out. We do get level 1 on medium tyres. Gomez is happier with his handling, which is good news. That's A-OK. It means we've got a decent improvement there. Speed balance is working much better. Shame he didn't quite manage to finish that race trim knowledge before starting this lap. That is a little bit disappointing. We should get level 2 on the mediums. That's fine. We're not going to get level 3 on the mediums. But level 2 is fine. As you can see, it's completely dried out. We weren't going to get anywhere else with the inters. So I do feel like they're always a bit more beneficial. 5th and 6th now. Alright, so we're not going to get a full lap out here. Excellent, great, excellent. I can't ask for more than that, basically. We can't do much better than that. Let's get you back out on those same tyres, on a qualifying. He's not going to get much time out, but still. But 98% optimum balance. That was an increase of 30%, which means going into this race, we're going to use that, obviously. We're going to use that. So Gomez's setup knowledge is completely full. Ferreira's is nearly at 75%. As you can see, the feedback score being a lot better. Should get level 1 qualifying. Yes. Level 1 qualifying trim. Now, it doesn't sound... 5% doesn't sound like a lot. But it is, basically. It's going to help us out. I still think we're going to finish 19th and 20th. But that's fine. So we've got great, 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 excellent, great, excellent. Now, the speed balance for Gomez dipped off from excellent a little bit. That was because we sort of... it can be the finest of margins can take the excellent score off. But we do have qualifying. And... if you've seen me before, you know that I still tweak things in qualifying because I can. And it's going to be a case of messing around with the canvas. Oh, now, Susie Perry. Susie Perry. Susie Perry is fit as fuck. And Friends is driving well this weekend. I don't care. Talk about me, please, Susie. Come and interview me, please, Susie. I'm a perv. I know I'm a perv, but I don't care. So, qualifying. We'll take the qualifying trim. We're also going to go with medium tyres for this. I know it's pissing down. I'm aware it's pissing down. Actually, no, we're not going to go. Yeah, we'll take the medium tyres, actually. Qualifying trim, medium tyres. We're going to be set up on inters. Now, that sounds all well and good. But if I look here, you can see it's going to get fucking absolutely ringing wet when we decide to go out. So we're going to sit on wets. And when I say we're going to fuck around slightly, I mean that. Literally, just that. That might get us. We're at 96%, which is very, very good. Don't get me wrong, but 98 is better. Let's get these fuckers out on wet. Let's get them out straight off. Now, if we finish 10 for above in qualifying, we'll get 50 grand. We're not going to finish 10 for above. That is not going to happen. Sorry, guys. It's not going to happen. We're not that good. I mean, I think in the race we might be able to do it this early on. That is a possibility. Let's get these sped up. Now, before we do this, there's a thing here called clear air optimization. Now, even though I've had a bit of a hiatus between the end of the previous series and this series, or, you know, I still haven't figured out how to do it, so I'm going to stick it on auto. And by clear air optimization, you can see it here. So the idea is you use this and then you do it around the corners, I believe. But I'm really shit at it, so I'm going to leave it on auto and let them do their own thing. They usually don't do very well. They do better than I do. They usually get... See, as you can see, it's saying overheated, overheated. So if we look at Gomez here for a minute, it says overheated, overheated. Now that will change. As you can see, that bar is going up and down based on various different things. So you got overheated and perfect, overheated good. If it was me, I'd have got overheated and overheated. And that is based on the tyres and the brakes. It's about getting the tyres and the brakes to the right temperature. So there are a few guys out on wets, but I think they all went out after us. So we should get the benefit of the really wetness, but they will then get the intermediates side of things. So we should be a little bit faster than all of those guys. Should. Not all of them, but a lot of them, yes. So as you can see, some guys coming in on their inters are really, really slow. There are some guys coming out on wets, like Heidefeld and Carroll, who have got faster scores, and Gutierrez, who have got faster scores than us. A lot of these guys will probably be a bit slower. Frins isn't, though. I think this is just one qualifying session, is it? Is it one long qualifying session? Yeah, there's no sort of knockout stage here. That's interesting. Didn't know that. We're going to go out for another run. I mean, it will make the episode shorter, which is a bonus, but it does mean it's going to be harder to qualify in a decent position. So let's get them both out on mediums. It's starting to dry up. That is my theory around this. We may be able to get out another faster lap, stay above the sponsorship objective. So let's see how we get on. If we can get around the track, which we should do, although there's not really enough time to get around properly, because we have finished our out lap and we're on a flying lap, it will allow us to do the flying lap, as you will be able to see here. Lovely stuff. Actually, it would be enough time to finish this lap anyway, looking at these sort of speeds. So Heidefeld and Carroll have gone out on softs. In fact, a lot of guys have gone out on softs. It's probably what we should have done, but we do get a 10% bonus with the mediums, so I'm hoping that 10% will put us around about the same level as the softs. It probably won't. But we're probably going to dip down to last place now. So Anthony's got a fast lap, but everyone else is on fucking softs and inters before, wets and inters beforehand. So it's not really surprising. Still holding on to 5th and 6th. There are 4 drivers out still. 2 drivers out still. So we should get the objective. Should. It depends how Sarazin finishes. Where is he? There we go. That's 50 grand in our pocket. It's not a lot of money. Abt. From Audi Sport. Okay. So he's the man by the looks of things. I think if we'd have got softs, we'd have probably got maybe 1 or 2 positions better there, but never mind. So we do go through the qualifying in 9th and 10th by the looks of things. Anyone saying Erin Andrews? Fuck me, she looks alright. Good effort from Enigma Racing. Well, you know. Nicholas Prost. I heard of Prost. Canal Plus. NBC. I don't really care about you, mate. You're not... hello, Susie Perry. Oh, that's from the previous thing. I don't care about you. You're not Susie Perry or Erin Andrews, so you can fuck off. Dirty pervert, dirty pervert, dirty pervert. I know, don't fucking care. This is the race. This is the main race. Now, oh, screw this. So, we only know the knowledge that we've learned. So we do get 15% race trim performance. So we're going to take that, and we're going to take the medium tyres. Now, with the drivers and the mechanics, once they've started to know each other, they get a thing called a chemistry bonus. So, obviously, we've got the knowledge on one side. On the other side, there'll be specific things based on what the mechanic knows. So you can get things like, so with the strategies, okay, so you've got like Overtake, and you know, there's one of them is called Super Overtake, which basically means he pushes the engine that much harder. There is sort of increased fuel economy, increased tyre wear, you know, all good things, all good things. But both guys will get mediums and race trim. Now, we don't get locked into tyres, so we've got, oh, hello. So we're at 96% there, so we've got great, excellent. I mean, it's no real big improvement, but that's fine. So this is a 42 lap race. Fuck me, this is going to be a long race. 13 to 15. Yeah. So we're going to go mediums because of our tyre bonus. My intention is to get 2 stops in this race. Do the whole thing, like trying to get 14 laps, then 14 laps, and then 14 laps, which leads up to 42. That is my intention. Whether we can get that or not, different thing altogether. So it does look like, as well, we are limited. We don't have... Right, so he gets 11 to 13 laps. So basically, if we were to look at... No, we can't. So we'll look after the race as to why they get less. It's to do with their smoothness rating. So we're going to go with driving style attack. I'm not going to change the engine mode because there was no option there to change the fuel. Which leads me to believe that you have 1 tank of fuel. So should we have a look at the top 5 then? We've got Daniel Abt, Felix Rosenqvist, Nick Heidfeld, Mitch Evans, and Stefan Sarazin are the top 5. So, any big names here? There probably is. I don't know any of these drivers. Nicholas Prost, I think I've heard of. If there's people here you know, let me know in the comments. Tell me how good they are in real life or how shit they are in real life. So, race day. We have 42 laps of fuel on both cars, which means we need to strategize with regards to our fuel. I'm going to go to 2-speed with this as well. So, Gomez is holding on to 9th at the minute. Actually, you know what? We're going to slow this down for the first 2 laps. So, Anthony is dropping positions like a fucking stone. I'm expecting us to do really badly. I mean, Gomez has just dropped a position now. She's going to lose another 2. There you go, down to 11th. So Anthony is in 13th, Gomez is in 11th. Now, what will happen is we could push the engine, but I'm not going to. I'm looking for decent pit stops, decent pit strategy for us to get a position. And I'm not expecting much more than that, just because. Daniel Abt's 1:15 to 08. So now we're going to speed it up. So we are dropping positions very, very quickly, as I said we would, 15th and 16th. If we look at the part conditions here, you can see the engine is 93%. Now, the reason I decided to go reliability on the engine, even though we are going to replace it at some point, is because it's the part that takes the longest to fix. Next, we're going to look at improving the gearbox, because that's the next longest part to fix. Then the brakes and then the suspension. The suspension takes less time, I think. But we need to keep an eye on those things as well as our fuel and tyres. As you can see with the tyre wear, Anthony's already at 77% and Gomez is at 79%, and that's to do with the smoothness rating. Now, they are dropping positions. So if we go to the current standings, as you can see, some people are neutral and pushing their engines. We are not pushing our engine, but we're pushing our tyres. Talking of which, we're going to come back on these tyres a little bit. We do want to go for as many laps as possible on these tyres with Gomez, but we don't want to lose positions. You know what? Fuck it. We'll let Anthony push. We'll let Anthony push the tyres because she's going to churn through tyres anyway. Now, I don't want to concentrate on one driver. That's a trap that many people fall into, and I've fallen into it myself. Chances are I will fall into it again. You want to try and get both racers doing really well. For obvious reasons. Because you get more points that way. Obviously, if you're finishing lower than 10th, you won't get any points, but still. So we've got 38 laps remaining, and you can see here, over on the left-hand side, the tyre wear, and that's a fucking freight train again. You can see the tyre wear of the drivers. Now, because we've got mediums, we shouldn't be degrading our tyres faster than the guys on softs, but it seems that we are. Which is an interesting one. We're down in the last 2 positions at this point. So we need to play very carefully about how we do the driving strategy. We're going to get you to attack, alright? Hopefully you'll push Gomez up a little bit. So we're going to try and sort of pit out around about the 25% on the tyre degrading mark, if we can. That's just how I roll. I'm a little bit disappointed actually. It's going to be really hard. If we get the opportunity to vote later in the season, it'll cost us £1 million to sort of push forward a vote or put forward a vote. And my first vote will be getting rid of these fucking fuel engines. Actually, I don't know. Do we want to get rid of the 42 laps worth of fuel so we can have, you know, whatever amount of fuel we want and just fill up? Or do we want to get rid of the point system? Do let me know in the comments. What do we want to get rid of? Because I like my pit strategy where I can add loads of fuel, go mad on the fucking engine and push hard, and then sort of like just fill up as and when. But if you feel like the points are going to be better for us long run, then we'll go with the points. But again, please do let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate that one. So as you can see, Anthony is now at 28%. We're going to bring Anthony in on this particular lap. We're going to give more mediums actually. Park conditions, they're looking good. Pit strategy, now we could go with safe, we could go with balanced, but we're going to go with fast. It's going to be a risk to take, but we're not doing particularly well at the minute anyway. We're in 15th and 16th, which is an improvement on 19th and 20th, but people have pitted. And obviously we're going to be pitting in the second. We're going to have a look at Gomez now, because Gomez is going to go at least 3 more laps. I don't know how they're going to manage to go 3 more laps on these tyres, but we'll see what we can do. Let's go conserve. So, fuel-wise, because we're hitting neutral, we're not going to run out of fuel. It's the tyres. I don't want to push the fuel, because I've never used this particular racing style, like racing rule, where all your fuel's in the car from the off. To me, it seems bizarre. It probably isn't. It's probably normal in quite a few things, but to me it seems like a really bizarre rule. I'd prefer to refuel. I don't feel as limited, whereas this, I feel limited. I feel like I maybe should have gone with Indycar, which is Tier 2 as opposed to Tier 3. But we're here now. We've made a start. I'm 26 minutes into recording. I'm not going back now. It's the fourth time I have done this now. Not because it was poor starts or anything like that. It was more because I made a team, got a team name, didn't like the team name, sort of like, you know, fuck this, I can't deal with that. Started again, and so what did I choose? What did I choose as team name? So it was like Demon Racing, which to me sounded a bit afterwards. There was John Deere Racing, because I thought, you know, Lamborghini, they make tractors, they've got race cars, not like these sort of race cars, but they've, you know, they make sports cars. So I was like, John Deere Racing, and I was like, no. And then it was like Carabao Racing. Now Carabao, if you don't know, are a Taiwanese energy drink company who are a little bit like Red Bull, sort of. They a little bit like Red Bull, sort of. But basically, their thing is a green can, and they've got a Red Bull's head on the front of it. So that's what I thought. I thought like Red Bull Racing, Carabao Racing could work. And I sort of like realised that maybe I'd be a little bit limited on my colour choice when it comes to designing a new car every season. And that's what we'll do. We'll design a new car each season. And then it was a case of, what else should we do? I didn't want to use Blue Ball Racing, which was on the previous one. And so I went with Green Terror Racing. Now, Green Terror is a type of fish, it's a type of cichlid. South American cichlid, actually. And it is one of my favourite fish. I just find it's a very, very beautiful fish. We better bring you in for a pit. There we go. Park conditions are fine. Pit strategy, we'll go fast. It's a very, very beautiful cichlid. Long flowing fins, bright green as you can imagine. The name Green Terror. Say it's bright green. It's got green sort of iridescence on it. It's one of my favourite fish, and I went with that originally because Green Terror Racing, when you abbreviate it, it's GTR, and it was in the GT series, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then I was like, nah. So I was like, oh, fuck it, we'll go with Enigma Racing. I like Enigma. I do like Enigma Racing. I do realise though that I'm going to have to probably change the colour of my outline here. As you can see, my little border for my webcam is blue. So I'm going to have to change it. I'm also going to have to get a new webcam at some point. I'm aware that this webcam is utter shite. I am aware of that. It's a case of getting the money first. Now, at the minute, I have mentioned it in other things. I've got a little one on the way. I'm expecting a baby in October. I do have a little girl already as well. She doesn't live with me, which is why I've not heard any pip from her yet. But she does live. You know, I've got a little girl who'll be 5 this year. So I do have other expenses. At a minute, I am saving up for some baby stuff, but I'm also putting money aside for a new computer. Now, with the new computer will come new toys as such, and including in those new toys will be a Logitech C920 webcam, We'll try to get a Blue Yeti microphone so I can get rid of this old fucking thing. And a new headset, because I like to hear what's going on through this. And also, if my wife's over there, she doesn't want to hear this. She'll hear me talk, which doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother her too much. My wife isn't here at the minute. She's at work. I finished a bit early today. So she's doesn't particularly want to hear me do those sort of things, which is fine. We're going to get you to push on those tyres a little bit, mate. I want you to... Getting blue flag now. We're getting overtaken. I'm not expecting anything else. If we finish in this position here, 16th, 19th, I'll be happy. But the biggest thing I need to save up for is a new computer. Now, the reason I need to save up for a computer is because, as I've mentioned in other videos, and as I put on the channel, part of the channel description is my computer is a potato. Now, when I upgrade this computer, which I should be hopefully be able to do in about 10 to 12 weeks' time, so I get paid weekly, and I'm doing extra hours at work to pay for this sort of thing. It'll be a mid-tier gaming computer. It's not going to be a fucking beast. I'm not spending like £2,500 on it. I'm going to spend about between £600 and £800 on a new computer. I would like to get new monitors, but to be fair, that is a sort of like that's at the back of my mind at the minute. I've only got a little desk here, and I don't want to go mad on the monitors. So getting the actual computer done is the first thing, and we're probably going to go with a 1050 Ti graphics card and a Verizon 1600 CPU. Oh shit, we need to pit Anthony. I'm down to 18%. Fuck. I'm too busy talking about this computer that I haven't got, but haven't got the money for yet, but I'm going to. But it does mean we won't be on a potato as such. Now, the biggest reason I need to update, I mean, this computer is fine. Honestly, it's fine. It plays a lot of games perfectly well. It doesn't, however, play a lot of new games perfectly well. In fact, a lot of new games it can't play. So I've got The Division, can't play it. I bought FIFA 17 the other day, had to refund it because my graphics card is no longer supported. So my computer is that old. I think my computer is about 9 or 10 years old now. And my parts are so old that the creators no longer create new drivers for them, so they're no longer supported. So that does mean I'm a bit limited in what I can do. Now, my channel is mostly going to be Football Manager, Motorsport Manager, Crusader Kings 2, and like EU4, which I haven't done yet. I haven't done EU4 yet, but I would like to be able to play other games in my own time, like Battlefield, like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, Overwatch. I can't even play Overwatch. I would like to play those sort of games, and I do need a better computer for it. So that is the plan. That is the plan. I mean, chances are I'll probably get to the sort of £700 saved point, and then sort of think to myself, well, I could save up another £200-300 here, and then get some more parts. That is, if that happens, then that happens, and I'll get a 1080 Ti and maybe a better CPU. I don't know. But I'm quite happy with the idea of getting a Verizon. So, yeah, that's what's going to happen. But there will be a little bit of a delay, but there will be a better camera because this camera is shit. So, what I might do is, if there are any budding YouTubers about who are, I don't know, sort of young. If you're in the UK, it's going to be a UK offer more than anything because I'm not going to ship things to the US. If you are in the UK, once I've got my new parts in, if you're a budding YouTuber and you're young, you can't afford a webcam, you can't afford like a headset and a microphone, and your parents aren't willing to do so, then I will actually send you my old stuff. Okay, so these things are pretty old. These turtle beaches, these old turtle beaches I've got, I'll take them off real quick. These are Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 turtle beaches. So these came out when Modern Warfare 3 came out. And I got them for nothing. And they've served me well for a long time. But you can have these. You can have my old web camera. And, yeah, so you've then got a microphone, so you can do a little bit of thing. Okay, it isn't the best microphone, but it's better than no microphone. You've got a headset, so you've got this coming through. Use it for your own gaming. And, of course, there's a webcam. Not brilliant webcam, but they'll be free. So, yeah, if you're in the UK, you're a young guy or young girl, just let me know, and then when I get my new stuff through, I'll get these sent off to you, free of charge. If more than one of you get back to me, then I don't know, we'll have to try and We'll RNG it. We'll RNG it, basically. We'll pull a name out of the hat or something. So we're going to have to bring in Gomez, get you a new set of tyres. Might have to fix some parts soon. So I've not really been concentrating on this race. I've been too busy talking. 16th and 17th is not bad at all for us. So Gomez is coming for his second pit. Obviously Anthony's going to be doing more pits, but Gomez is coming for his second pit. So we're doing alright with fuel. I'm going to come back on the fuel a little bit for Gomez. And I'm just going to keep him sort of going at this sort of level. Now obviously Gomez is going to go down to like 20th, 19th, 20th is coming round us now. If you look on the map, did we get it? No, fuck, we didn't. Okay, but it was still a good pit. We're not that far behind 20th by the looks of things. 3 seconds. So yeah, I'll get something sorted out. We'll RNG it. We'll pretend it's World of Warcraft and an epic item has fallen in a raid. It's been a long time since I played World of Warcraft. I'm not getting back into World of Warcraft, no matter what. Okay, don't make me. I don't want to do it. That is a long, slippery slope I do not want to get back into. I have no love for that game anymore. It ruined my life for a long, long time. Honestly, it did. I was just putting hours. I think there was a sort of 3-week period where I put in like 18 hours a day on World of Warcraft, and there was one period in that time where I stayed away for 72 hours and I was just grinding and raiding and ruined my life. Really did. So not doing that again. Anyway, we're going to concentrate on this race now. We're just over halfway on this race. Now, I don't know if you saw that there. We'll pause it for a minute. Now, if we go to other drivers, so we'll go to first place. Now, as you can see, nothing wrong with him. Frins, nothing wrong there. Lopez, nothing wrong. Felix Costa, nothing wrong. Now, Prost. You see that little flashing red sort of spanner, or if you're an American, wrench, with the exclamation hazard mark on it? That means he's got a part problem. Now, he will probably, especially this point in the race, have to go in and fix it. And I should imagine he's not the only person with that issue. So, obviously, Heidefeld's okay. Bird, Sarrazin. These guys will all end up having some part problems in this race. And that's a very early point to be getting him. I'm pretty sure there's at least one more. I think the other guy was behind us. Is it Buemi? Yeah, there we go. So, he's going to have to go in and get his part fixed as well. So that's what I mean, we've got part condition. Because this is so early on in the season, no one's going to have decent parts available to them. I had a niche there, sorry. No one's going to have decent parts available to them. So everyone's going to be having to come in to fix. And this is where the start of the season is where we can make most of our points based on lap strategy. And that is the plan. We're going to do just that. We're going to try and gain positions through to other people's misfortune. Basically, we're going to have to push a bit more. I don't know if you noticed, it's got a bit quieter. When I change things, it zoomed out. Zoom back in. In fact, you might not even be able to hear it because I've got the recording for the game so low. The reason I've got the game recording so low is because if I have it much higher than this, I mean, it may get copyright striked anyway. It's not a huge issue if it does. It just means that it can't be monetized, which at the level I'm at the minute doesn't really fucking matter. I'm not going to make money out of this, and making money out of YouTube isn't the thing for me. I'm just doing it for my own entertainment value and a little bit of yours. So I don't really want this to be copyright striked, because at some point, it doesn't really bother me too much. But if you guys want to hear it, I can up the volume up. Perhaps I can just get rid of their music, in-game music, have the sound volume up, like the sound effects, and maybe get some background music going on, if that's what you want. Do let me know. I mean, it's the start of the series. I can change things up. If that's what you fancy, I can do that. That is fine. We can do that. It's easy. We can have some copyright-free music. There's plenty of playlists on YouTube. Plenty of playlists on Spotify. I don't have a Spotify account anymore. I just never used it. So, Faith Anthony's been blue flagged. Not surprising. We're so far behind. Look, we're like well over 2 minutes behind first place. That's how things are for us. We are going to get them to push their tyres now, though. We're going to have to start pushing a little bit. So, oh fuck. Anthony, you need to come in. Shit, why didn't I notice that? Bollocks. I'm too busy just going blah, 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 blah. We're going to fix the gearbox. Stay on fast. You have spare fuel. I know you have spare fuel at the minute, but I'm worried. I'm going to give him a little bit longer. I can't believe I let Anthony's tyres wear completely down. I thought I had her come in. Oh well, fuck it. She's going to have to come in once more before the end of this race, by the way. Gomez, however, hopefully we can push that a little bit. You can see how slow she's going now because she's on rims because I fucked up. Let's go back to Gomez. Gomez is like our possible point hope. So he has 3 laps of fuel spare by the looks of things. So yeah, let's give him a little bit of a shunt. So do you. So let's give you both a bit of a shunt. That's fine. I want Gomez to maybe go 2 more laps and then we'll finish up on some softs. So the gearbox repair has been a mistake, which is... Alright, so she's going out. How far behind? 40 seconds. 40 seconds behind 19th. Now, how is Turvey looking? Old Topsy. Topsy-turvy. Might just be a British thing, I don't know. Not very well, anyway. Gutierrez has gone in for a part fix at some point. Let's have a look. Vern is fine. Gutierrez is fine. Turvey is fine. Buemi? Have you gone in to fix your... You're going in to fix your part now. So Gomez potentially could nick a position here, if we're lucky. Now, I'm going to get Gomez to attack on this particular lap, and then we are going to go to pit. So there's 5 laps left, so we're going to pit and use softs, because they're going to be the faster ones. Not going to worry about fixing any parts. I feel like we can probably see out the race. Do we have enough fuel? We've got enough fuel there, haven't we? We're not going to worry about Anthony. There should be enough tyre there. Let's go. No, we'll just do that. We'll sit at that. If we can get 16th, which we're not going to get, because 17th. 17th. You know what? I would actually be very happy with 17th. Even 16th, actually, now. Back up to it. 16th and 20th. We won't get any points, but it means we won't finish last in a race. I think it means, like, if we got 16th and 20th, that'll be like a 9th place finish overall. Bear in mind, there are 10 teams. So in the Constructors' Championship, we'll get like a 9th place finish, which is better than 10th. Especially when we say we're going to finish 10th. I don't think he's going to get much improvement out of that. You never know, though. You never know. We still have quite a bit of excess fuel. So yeah, fuck it. Let's go smash into this. Let's go overtake. Overtake. Let's get you to wear your tyres down. There's 3 laps left. Might as well. Thing is, I'm still gauging how this whole one fuel tank thing works. I don't know. I've been too busy fucking going on about fucking new computers and giving away webcams and shit. But we'll see. We'll see. So we've got a new fastest lap for Gomez with that one, for obvious reasons. Tyre temps feel really high. We'll just deal with them, mate. You've got 3 laps left, and you've got plenty of tyre wear. You've got plenty of fuel. We'll have to keep an eye on the fuel though, because this engine mode will fucking drag it back. As you can see, it's on Evan's tail, but obviously Buemi's on his tail too. We're not going to get any higher than 15th, but if Gomez can get 15th, I'll be very happy. Anthony's too far off the pace. It's like 48 seconds off the pace. Anthony's going to finish last, or she is going to finish last. But Gomez, maybe, just maybe. Oh, don't worry about the gearbox at this point. You fuck off. We're not changing the gearbox at this point. So Buemi is actually pushing Gomez at this point. Buemi will probably overtake us. I'm hoping he doesn't, for obvious reasons. We're coming up onto the final lap now, though. We've got more than enough fuel. I probably should have gone to this mode earlier, and then we probably would have this position. I say Buemi is definitely going to take us on this lap. The way he is driving, but we've got the worst car, so I'm not really surprised. That's saying that he's just knocked back a long way. Faith Anthony's just got lapped again. We're going to get some better drivers in, guys. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. So Maria Lopez has come first. Frins looks like second. PK Jr. Can we hold on to 16th? Can we hold on to 16th? Just about hold on to 16th. So we do have 16th. So, I mean, if you look at this, so first and second will be a first place. We'll go from the bottom, actually. 20th and 19th is 10th. 18th and 17th is 9th. 16th and 15th is 8th. So I'm working on that. I think we've got a 9th place constructor finish, which is better than a kick to the cock. Let's face it. A lot of things are better than a kick to the cock, though. You know, at least both races finished. They could have crashed. You never know. Could have retired. The biggest thing was me fucking up on those tyres. I was too busy talking to you cunts. And by the way, if you've never seen me before, when I say you cunts, it's actually a term of endearment. I don't mean it actually sort of like you're a cunt at all. It is, for me, it's a term of endearment. And also, if you've not seen me before, I know I sound slightly Australian. I'm not Australian. We finished 10th. Okay, fair enough. I'm not Australian. I'm very much English. I've never left England other than on holiday. I've always lived in the UK. It's just a quirk of where I live, or where I was born, the area I was born in. I was born in northern Essex, right on the Suffolk-Essex border, actually, in a place called Colchester, which I'm sure people have heard of. It's the oldest recorded town in Britain, if you've not heard of it, by the way. So, it is the oldest, well, I say the oldest town, it's the oldest recorded town in Britain. So, it's the only place that people have known, really, in records. I'm over-explaining it now. Which isn't bad, you know. It's got a castle. It's not a very good castle. It's got a castle. It had an abbey, only the gates remain. It had a priory, that's kind of destroyed. It's got a decent zoo. It's got a shit football team. But where I am, it's kind of, we lost £1 million that race. Fuck me. That's the other thing. That's why we need money as well. So we need to keep at least 10 million aside, well 9 million now, to cover our costs at the end of the year, so we don't go into debt. So where I am, sort of, you got like Suffolk and you got Essex, and kind of right on the border. In fact, when I played rugby, although I played for Colchester, which is in Essex, county-wise I played for Suffolk, and I even played for Eastern Counties, which normally you wouldn't play for if you're in Essex. So yeah, there's that. And you get a slight bit of Suffolk accent, you get a slight bit of the Essex accent. Because I've got family from Norfolk, you get a slight little bit of the Norfolk accent. Because I used to go up there a lot, visit them. And because my little girl lives down in Plymouth, in Devon, I go down there a lot, and I end up picking a little bit up their accent. So I got this weird sort of Aussie thing going on. Hello, Aaron Andrew wants to have an interview with us. Don't care about Lee Diffie. The car's going to be knackered, mate, I know that. Hi, Aaron. Hi. You attempted a quick pit stop for Anthony. I know, I should have been more careful. So, Wang Chuanfu, our chairman, was quite happy with that. That's fine. Elio Bonacci. Or Elio Bonacci. Oh, here's the other guy I wasn't overly interested in. It's Newman I'm more interested in. So let's have a look. So what we're going to do is lead up to the next race. Don't know what I'm doing. We're going to lead up to the next race and then end the episode. That's how I do my thing. Not everyone likes it, but that's how I like it. So these are all 4 races. They're all pretty much the same offer. In fact, they're all exactly the same offer monetarily wise. It's just who do we want as a sponsor. Now, I think Brawn. It's manly. You know, it's shavers. You know, I know they do lady shavers too, but shavers. So we're going to go with that. Home Depot, yes, okay, possibly manly, but I don't want a big orange fucking advert on my car. Let's have a look. Contract offer accepted. So that's from Lucas Masset. So we'll sign him. And we'll replace Galina Vakarmiv. We'll replace her. Doesn't really matter. They're both going to get replaced at some point. So Susie Perry. Hello, Susie. I love Susie. Susie does it for me. Don't tell my wife. My wife knows Susie does it for me, so it doesn't really matter too much. We could get new buildings, upgrade some buildings, but I don't really want to. It's going to cost us too much money. Part of me thinks we should get the design centre because it will unlock extra things, but I'll wait. We need to concentrate on building up the car this season. Now, nice. We've got another mechanic, so let's get rid of Rick Viscal. Super. Now, before we go anywhere else, let's go to the car. Let's go to improve parts. Now, if we get rid of those, don't need to worry about that anymore. We'll go back on the gearbox. So what we're going to do is look. So at the minute, it says 1 day before race. If we switch it, 1 day after race. So Wanda Adams is better at reliability, and we can keep this guy over here. Oh, fuck me, I'm dry. I need 1 second. Oh, that's better. I got this glass when I went on my honeymoon, actually. It's the Hashtag Split glass. We went to Split on the honeymoon. Lovely place. If you've never been, do go. The only thing I will say is, if you're going to go, do like a long weekend. Don't do a week. It's just, I don't think it's a week-long place. It's definitely a long weekend place. So, we are going to get in Brian Newman. Now, I'm sure you've seen his wages. I'm sure you saw how much money we lost in the previous race. That has now gone up to 1.316 million with the addition of this guy. But, and here is the big but. And it's my ass. No. There we go. He is so much better than the previous one. And this here is just fucking epic. Hence why it's in purple, because it's epic. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to use it. We should be able to, because if we don't need, I'm pretty sure with regards to these bits, you don't need the extra sort of unlocks. You just need him to know it. And if that's the case, we are onto a fucking winner, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, fuck me. Now, I'm hoping we get some drivers scouted soon, and I'm really, really hoping that at least one of these drivers is going to be a paid driver. Now, if you don't know what I mean by paid driver, basically, paid drivers have sponsors who pay you to race them. Always good, always good. No, we're not going to be able to do it because we haven't unlocked this area. So we need to unlock. Great. Right, okay. First things first then, HQ. We're going to spend some money. Let's get you upgraded so we can get a handling development centre built. It's 8 million. Next thing we need to do, we're gonna design another piece of suspension, I think. Medium. Don't know how much it's going to add, but we'll take that one. Thing is, that'll be good. It's only on soft supers and ultras. Do you take that? That's qualifying, isn't it? That's 93. That could be anything. No, we're not going to do any more suspension. We're going to start working on the engine. Now, the reason we're going to start working on the engine is because he has the ability to look at the engine. Oh, fuck me. Nothing good to work with. We're going to go with a random good. And then once we've done that, we will go with this fucker here, because that seems like the best thing. So, when it comes to the risk levels, by the way, guys, when it gets to the end of the season, or once it starts approaching the end of the season, we will look at using some of the riskier parts. Now, what's going to happen is we'll build a risky part. It's going to be a fucking amazing part. We'll get its performance up, but not its reliability. We're not going to use it in the season. We're going to let it carry over to the next season. Now, the reason we let it carry over to the next season is because the following season, it won't be illegal anymore. Little tip for you. Little tip for you. So, we should find out how good Cameron Das is in a couple of days' time. And if he's an improvement on our drivers, which he will be. It's just whether or not he will want to join us. Which he probably won't. I think he's going to be far too good for us. So engine design is nearly finished. Engine design is finished. So let's have a look at Cameron Das, who's apparently one of the weaker drivers. So smoothness is good. Feedback is shit. Overtaking is good. Everything else is pretty. Pay driver. Now, financially, that's a good idea. But that is not. I saw pay drivers, like, oh wow, and then I realised that we're going to have to pay him basically more than he's getting paid, or that we're getting paid. So we're not going to go for Das because he wants £250,000 per race at least, and that's on top of what we need to pay him. So he can go suck a dick. Not that that's a bad thing, guys, by the way. If you are of that persuasion, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It's just a thing I say. By the way, I'm not struggling here. It's just I want to put my feet up. And basically, I've been sat down for a long time and my legs are starting to hurt. So I want to bring my feet up. Financial management. Don't worry about the financial management. What we're going to do is ask you for extra funds. 50% chairman happiness down, but we get an extra 1.724 million. I think we'll wait. I think we'll wait till we're absolutely fucking desperate. That's nearly made. Right, designing the engine has been finished. We're going to have to design a new engine now. Let's go check out the car. Let's go design a new engine part. Or design a new part even. So build time plus 3. Right, so 15 to max. Random good. They're the best things we've got available to us. Yep, 1.6. That's fine. Just costing an arm and a fucking leg. Go to improve parts. As we can see, our new engine's up here. Big improvement. It is a big improvement. By the way, guys, I'm still sorting out the house. That's why it's so fucking. That's why there's a step ladder back there, a really old paint splattered wooden step ladder. I'm doing a bit of painting. I just wanted to take out time for myself. So yeah, that is a big improvement. In fact, we're gonna take away that one and go into that. And that is going to be the end of this episode. So, yeah. If you've enjoyed the episode, please do like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. If you've not seen the previous Motorsport Manager playthrough and you're jonesing for some Motorsport Manager from me, do check it out. Like I say, it does end abruptly, thanks to a faulty save. But you can kind of get the gist of it, basically. Not the jizz, but the gist. And, yeah. There we go. Take care. I'll see you when I see you. What's all that about? Take care. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.